Hi everyone, it's Emma, and on your screen right now is the image of the JOT mood board for August. And I saw this when I was scrolling through Pinterest, and I thought it was really bold and it would be a really good challenge. So I thought, right, I'm going to go for it. So obviously the colour scheme is sort of black, white and grey with pops of really bold red. So I thought, well, I'm going to do a bit of mixed media in the background. So my first sort of stage, if you like, was to gesso my whole piece of paper. Now, my gesso is really cheap. It is from The Works here in the UK. It was £5 for a massive pot, and I'm actually thinking that I probably need to get rid of it, and because it smells, it really smells. But I'm actually thinking I need to get rid of it and get like a better quality one. It is quite liquidy. I think it's meant to be a little bit thicker consistency. Um, but yeah, it does the job. I mean, it works as a gesso, really, like it protects the page, and I had no leak through or anything like that with all of this, and I put a lot of liquid on this page. So it does work, but I'm thinking I need a better quality one. So I've gessoed that and then just heat set it or dried it with my heat gun. It didn't actually take long because I put such a thin layer on. I used that Amazon gift card to sort of scrape it on, and it really didn't take long at all. So here you can see on my table I've brought out my distress ink, and that is in black soot, and I'm mixing that with some modelling paste to get like this really light grey kind of colour. I didn't want it dark, I didn't want it black. I wanted to try and keep the lightness of the page, so I went for like a light grey. And then I'm going to use the shorter end of the Amazon gift card and just sort of scrape it across in different directions. And I really like the way that looked. I like the texture of it. I like how it's darker grey in some areas and then really light in others. So I was really happy with how that turned out, actually. I was pleasantly surprised. So again, I've heat set that, and then I was thinking, okay, how am I going to bring out the red? So by this point, it's sort of off to the side of my desk. I've already pulled out all the black and white papers that I possibly have. I didn't have a lot of grey or red. I didn't have any red. But I had these two calligraphy inks, and they are De La Rowney, and they dry waterproof. Not that I add any extra water to this, but they do dry waterproof. And one of them is burgundy red, and one of them is a bright red. So I went for the burgundy red, just because I thought it was a slightly richer colour. And you saw there I just dipped a paintbrush in and tested them on a bit of paper. And basically what I'm going to do is splatter. Now at this point I keep splattering. Then I thought, oh, a bit of drippage, that'd be good. Then I started to think this looks a little bit like blood, which I think is the danger with red. But, you know, I keep going, perseverance. I thought we'll go with it and see how it goes. So yes, I have splattered, I have dripped, and I'm going to dry now. It took a little while to dry, so you can see I got a little bit impatient with it and decided to just dab it up with a napkin instead. So yeah, I mean, the way it is now in that orientation, like with the stripes going across the page, that's how I was thinking that I would, like, this page would turn out. It didn't actually turn out that way, but you know, you'll see that as we go along. So I'm going to back it. I have this black with sort of painty, splotchy white polka dots pattern paper, and that's what I'm going to back this on. I cover the back of it in a whole lot of double-sided tape because it did warp a little bit. You know, I've added medium to it, and you know, I've added heat to it and water, and you know, it's only paper at the end of the day. It's going to warp a little bit. So it did crinkle up, so I thought I'm going to use the whole piece of the black and white splotchy pattern paper to try and straighten it out, which did actually work. I was quite happy with it. And that black with white splotchy paper that has gone off screen, but it'll be back in a second. That one is from Illustrated Faith. So I don't know what possessed me, but I clearly thought I needed more blood splatters. I'm joking, obviously. It's not blood, it's ink. But I added some more, and then obviously heat setting that, and then it wouldn't dry quick enough, so I dabbed at it. Clearly I'm impatient. We've learnt this about me in this video. So I'm just going to cover the back in some more tape. This mood board was really interesting. To have red as such a bold colour, and to have that as the only sort of colour, because obviously black, I would say black, white and grey, they're tones, aren't they? They're not really colours. So to have the red as the only colour was quite interesting. But as soon as I saw the mood board, and this is why I thought I would have a go at it, as soon as I saw the mood board, I knew I had the perfect photos. Here we go. So I did a layout not long ago about Snapchat, and I used similar photos, but I didn't end up using this one because I thought it was too dark. Well, enter the JOT mood board. So I don't think I can pull off the red lipstick look, but it was certainly fun to play with the Snapchat filters because I would just never even buy a red lipstick. I'm not brave enough. So these I thought were the perfect photos, and I'll put the mood board up again now, so you can see how I got that sort of vibe. I think in one of the photos is actually a lady with bright red lipstick, so it was perfect, really. So what I'm doing is off to the side. Oh, I lied. I did have red paper. Oh, that came in the July Like Forever kit, and I can't remember who it's by, but it was a really thick cardstock actually, and it's obviously that red and white triangle. So what I've done is I've backed my photos onto, I think it was a white with black polka dot paper. That was from way back in January. I still had some of the Studio Calico papers left. I think it was a goldy one. And I've backed my photo. I've given them a very thin border. I did try it on the red paper to start off with, but I thought that made the red lipstick too bright. I wanted to sort of tone that down a little bit because it's obviously it's quite a bold colour. So I've layered that piece of red triangle paper behind, and I think with the black and white photos on the top, it just gives that enough. Like with all the rest of the drippage and everything else, I don't think I needed any more red on there. And then you can see just in that pot, just to the side of me, I went through all of the ephemera that I have, and pulled out all things black and white. I didn't have any red in the ephemera, but I pulled out all things black and white. So I've got pieces from Fancy Pants, I've got bits from Cocoa Vanilla, and I think I've got a button down in the bottom right hand corner from Paige Evans Fancy Free, and yeah, I think that's all the... Oh, and I think I've got a little bit of Simple Stories, I think. In fact, no, I don't think... No, I didn't. Simple Stories didn't make it on here. But yes, so eclectic. There's a stripy black and white tab there that I'm going to put down the side of my photo, and I thought I would use my new Paige Evans Take Me Away roller stamp and stamp like the little flowers on there. My stamping failed epically, and I smudged it. Well, I didn't smudge it. I didn't stamp it properly to start off with, and then I tried to stamp it again, and it turned out into one big black smudge. So enter Tim Holtz Small Talk stickers to the rescue, and I've covered it up with the words "Believe in yourself," and actually that's going to be my title. I didn't think this one needed a big bold title, given how bold the red and the black and the white and everything is in this layout. So Believe in Yourself, the little tab to the side of the photo, is going to be my title. I think that's what I'm going to call this one. So I'm just sticking all my layers down, and I broke out the hot glue gun because I knew I wanted to stick down that metal butterfly, because butterflies were in the mood board as well. I'll pop that on the screen again so you can see. So I've got that metal butterfly that's going in the top left-hand corner. I almost said top right-hand corner then. Top left-hand corner of my photos, and there's another butterfly, so that's repeated in the bottom right-hand corner with that fancy free button. And I finally used this tassel. This came in this month's Light Forever kit. It's part of the Cocoa Vanilla Bits and Pieces pack. And I was just stumped to start off with of how to use the tassel, how it would look good, how I was meant to attach it. In the end I hot glued it, and then I put it in the wrong place and I had to tear it off and then hot glued it again. But you know, the trials and tribulations of a tassel. And then that white bow with the black polka dots, that went just above it, and I thought that looked alright. Then that little piece down in the bottom corner says enjoy the ride. Believe in yourself and enjoy the ride. I think that's kind of how I read it when I look at the page. What am I going to do now? I think I'm going to journal, surprise, surprise, or I'm looking for something. Oh, there was that sequined heart is from the Cocoa Vanilla as well. I don't have a clue what I'm going to use that on, but it is really cool. It's like a little heart pillow type thing. I fought with my glue gun as well through this. I don't usually use my glue gun, and it's a really cheap one from Hobbycraft, and I just fought with it. It was just leaking glue everywhere, and it was a mess. I'm using that Paige Evans Take Me Away roller stamp again, and just stamping. I stamped some X's that look like little cross stitches around the edge of the paper. And I stamped a couple of those flower clusters. They look a bit like bats from here, but hopefully you'll see them on the close-up. They are like little flower wreaths. And then my journaling just says, sometimes you just need a little reminder to believe in yourself. And that's it. I really enjoyed using this mood board because it was a real challenge to have such a limited colour palette. But I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!